everybody, it's Friday. Hope you're going to have an amazing weekend. Not sure what's going on with your situation. They're starting to ease the lockdown a little bit, but please be safe out there. Wash your hands, all that good stuff. Anyway, before we get rolling, if you guys could do me a tremendous favor and hit that fucking subscribe button, it will really help out and help me grow this channel because I'm trying desperately to get to 400,000 subscribers. So you definitely matter. Please hit the fucking button. Anyway, let's get right to it.
10 reasons why this amp is good. Video sponsored by the same product. So, this video is basically one big ad, no facepalm. I get it, money is money, but I can't take your videos seriously anymore.
Wow, Alberto, well, sorry to disappoint. Let me try and break it down so even you can understand it. Generally, when I do a sponsored video, it's because I think the product has something to offer the viewer. If I don't like something, it doesn't wind up sponsored. Now, the thing about the Positive Grid Spark is it is a beginner's amp. It's not designed for the studio, and it's not pretending to be a studio amp. And that's why I said, okay, am I going to be able to record massive metal tones with it? No, I'm not. But it's a nifty little tool. It's great for a bedroom jam tool. It's great if you're a college kid and you need something in your dorm that you can hook up headphones to and not bother anybody. It fits that role perfectly, and that's what it's designed for. If it claimed it was going to be a studio amp, I wouldn't have done the video. Watch this next bit.
For your next Q&A, what are your thoughts about the Blue Cat Axiom plugin?
Now, here's the thing, and I don't want to throw Blue Cat under the bus, but I think this kind of illustrates the point. A couple years ago, I was offered a lot of money to do a video with Blue Cat, and I turned it down because I couldn't get a sound I liked out of it. I don't know about the Axiom plugin. I haven't tried it. But at the time, I'm just kind of like, nope, there's no way I could do this video and keep a straight face to my audience and say, go buy this. No. Not happening. Now, for those of you guys who missed this story, I did a sponsored video with Mellow Audio for the TS Mega. And it was a great piece of gear. It was rock solid metal. The only problem was it was supposed to be a combination foot switch and audio interface, and the mic preamp did not work. They were kind enough to send me a second unit and it worked absolutely fine, but I didn't take the first video down. I thought you guys, as my viewers, deserved to know there was an issue with it. Mellow Audio did step up and fix the issue and got the problem solved, and that's great, and it's a solid product, and I can definitely give it my thumbs up now. But I'm not going to fucking lie to you guys about something that doesn't work. It's just not in my wheelhouse. So when I do a demo video, there's usually a reason why it winds up on the show because I find a use for it. And yes, I do have to eat as well.
This channel has too much flame and dirty comments about other people. Do you really need to throw this garbage in the public field? How about not commenting the other people's stupidity and stay professional? Who will want to work with you if you're complaining about how shitty and hypocritical musicians are, and who is interested to listen about it? Sure, everyone in the world knows that you're the smartest man in the universe, and no one professional enough to work with such a god. So what's the point to remind about it in every single video?
Well, Cyril, the point is, it's funny. Maybe if you had a sense of humor, you'd realize that. Look, this business is fucking crazy. I'm not claiming to be some high-level fucking record producer. I'm just a normal dude who's been making records with normal bands for the last 20 fucking years. And I'm just laughing not only at the bands, but at myself and all the stupid fucking mistakes we all make over the years. Mostly bass players, though. So if you want to sit there and whine about what I say, that's absolutely fine. But then again, nobody's forcing you to watch the show. If you don't like it, there's lots of other stuff out there where everybody can sit around and sing Kumbaya and making everybody feel good. Here we talk about the truth of the situation. If that's too much for you, fuck off.
Glenn, thanks for getting me off drum samples. I used to be all about drum triggers. I record my acoustic kit now and how it should be done, with mics and proper engineering. I'm a much better player for it now. You actually have to hit the drums if you want them to sound good. I'm so sick of hearing the same drum machine on every modern release that it has really turned me off to most new albums. Your channel has been absolutely invaluable as I've learned a great deal from you over the years. Keep up the great work.
Hey there, dude. You know, I love hearing that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for that. And I'm so happy that you found my videos useful. And for those of you guys who might be new coming into the show and that, I've noticed a lot of new subscribers over the last little while. I definitely recommend checking out my How to Record Heavy Drums series. It kind of takes you through my methodology and helps you get off the sample addiction and learn to record the drummer and keep the drummer in your records. Something that's sorely lacking these days on a lot of releases.
Hi Glenn, I love your videos and fuck you. Okay, so I've been following your guitar mixing recording tutorials and I observed that you work on getting that old 80s, 90s metal tone. I was wondering when you would make a tutorial regarding how to achieve that new modern metal tones and how to mix them.
Well, you know, you just kind of make what you're good at. And when it comes to more modern metal tones, it's not quite my area of expertise. Not when it comes to amp sims anyway. If you want modern metal tones from real amps, check out my premium lesson called Total Heavy Guitar, and it takes you through all the aspects. But if you're an amp sim guy and wondering why you haven't been getting all these amazing tones that you've been hearing everywhere and why your stuff doesn't fucking sound right, I'd recommend checking out a new lesson called Guitar Tone Mastery. It's done by my friend Scott Elliott over at Chernobyl Studios, and I sat down with this with my good friend Dave Velez about a month ago when I was visiting him in San Diego. He was like, dude, you gotta check this fucking lesson out. And it's absolutely great. He takes you through a whole bunch of different amp sims and goes through his process, and it's very different from how you would work a real amp. He kind of goes backwards and works from the treble end of the spectrum down into the bottom end and shows you where you should be putting your post EQ and what frequencies to look at to get rid of the digital fizz and the mud, and how to process the track and just really give it that super polished modern metal sound. And best of all, for all you guys out there working with VST amp sims, it's about using VST amp sims, Axe-Fx's, all that kind of stuff. And it really simplifies it and just gives you a methodology and teaches you how to streamline your workflow and get some really fucking amazing tones like this. Now, if all goes according to plan, I should have a video being released tomorrow where I sit down with Scott and go through his lesson and explain to you guys what it's all about and show the finer points and show how it can improve your tones. But if you don't want to wait for that and you want to check this out, it's called Guitar Tone Mastery. It's going for $97. It's available in the link in the description below, and it is absolutely stellar because it's helped me step up my amp sim game as well. Like, check out the Audio Assault demo I did on the Sigma a few weeks back. That was done mixing using Scott's methodology, and I think it's absolutely fantastic.
What does the function pad do? Thanks.
The function is to make the mic a little bit quieter so it doesn't peak out and cut the digital signal off and create a nasty noise. It just makes it about 20 decibels quieter, and it's kind of a nice needed feature on a lot of small recording interfaces, and I think that was the only one out of those 5 that I tried out that actually had that in place. You usually see that on much more expensive things like, you know, my Great River MP to Envy, which is being serviced right now, and my API preamps, and not to mention the new ones from Cranborn. Really cool stuff. Very cool to see that on an affordable interface, so hats off to Behringer.
Hey Glenn, do you take time to mix each instrument for these videos, or are some parts like the drums pre-mixed by the artist before you get to them if they aren't the main focus of the video to save time? Just wondering.
Hey Paul, thanks so much for asking. Actually, I mix each demo individually for the project. And yes, it could be a little time consuming, but in order to speed things up, I do work from templates. I've got some of my favorite plugins I use for mixing drums and guitars and that kind of thing. And so it's a good jumping off point, and I'm going to do a tutorial on templates, and I will have some of those available for a paid download for my Reaper setups, and it'll be done with free plugins just to make it that much easier for you guys and hopefully speed up your workflow as well. It's a great way to move things along and still retain your individuality, especially if you're working with real drums. You guys can look for that in maybe the next 4 to 6 weeks, I'm hoping. All depends on how fast I get all the stuff I gotta get done right now.
This channel should be called Spectre Music Group. That's all I hear is crap coming from ass.
Oh, I just love it when the illiterate try and insult me. It really hurts.
Positive Grid sent out a newsletter last week telling me that my amp purchased in March will arrive in June. I'm pretty sure that the supply chain is greatly affected by the pandemic. All I can do is anticipate the arrival of my practice amp. I have to admit, I'm practicing guitar a lot since ordering it.
Well, hey, John, that unfortunately is the harsh reality of the situation. Nobody can anticipate a pandemic, and a lot of people are giving Positive Grid a lot of shit for not getting their amps quicker, but if you can't get parts, you can't build them. And why can't you get parts? Because China was on lockdown for a couple months there, and that's slowly emerging. But the rest of the world went on lockdown shortly thereafter. So that really fucked up the manufacturing process for a lot of people. Here in Windsor, most of the plants are closed. A lot of the meat processing plants are gonna close. Like, it's a really serious situation. So please, be patient with the builders. Once things come back to normal, I'm more than certain that you will get your amp. All you have to do is be patient and use a little bit of understanding in this case, because worldwide pandemics are generally beyond a company's control.
I heard heard through the grapevine that the Octron 1073 clone is made by the same factory that worked on the Chameleon and Gap 73 clones. From what I've heard, it used on, assuming your review is favorable as well, gonna get a pair for the Rackman EQ preamp combos.
Well, I'm still waiting on mine to arrive again because of the pandemic. The deliveries have been incredibly slow. Hopefully it's coming tomorrow and I'll get to test that out. Now, I've heard through the grapevine that a bunch of companies had things built in China, and that Chinese company basically stole the designs and started building preamps and EQs, and they're selling them at cut rate discounts. So I can't wait to get my hands on one of these and put it to the test and find out if it's actually good or not. Time will tell. Be sure to watch for a Fearless Gear review on that coming, well, whenever I get my gear.
Hey Glenn, what's the bare minimum I would need to record my acoustic project? Cheers from Oregon, I'm 17 years old and I don't have a lot of money to throw away.
Dude, I remember what it's like to be a broke 17-year-old. Yeah, it totally sucks. You're probably gonna need a couple $100 anyway. Maybe get an inexpensive Lewitt mic for about $150, one of the condensers, and an interface of some sort, which you could probably get for about $99. So maybe $250, maybe $300 to keep it realistic. You know what? I'll put some links in the description below to Sweetwater and with my recommendations for a dirt cheap recording chain. Good luck, man. You're gonna have a very interesting journey. Just remember, if you get discouraged, the trick is to keep doing stuff. Interesting stuff will happen eventually.
Hey Glenn, you are the man for introducing me, and I'm sure everyone else who tuned into Regale. I downloaded the Coastlines album and loaded it onto my phone and my iPod. Yes, I still have my iPod collection today. The Flyer is my favorite song, but when I heard the acapella Northwest Passage, the chills were interested. When we meet in person, I'll buy you a beer for this. And cheers from New Jersey, and of course, fuck you, Glenn.
Well, thank you so much for that. For those of you guys who might have missed that live stream, I was about mixing a Celtic country song. And that was a very fun record to do because all those guys in that band were top-level musicians and had been playing pretty much their entire lives. The Flyer was a lot of fun to track. I really like the song Maggie. It's kind of a country rock thing from it was a cover from an Eastern Canadian band. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty ripping fiddle solo on that. Lots of fun indeed. Now, about the song Northwest Passage, that was a tricky one to record. That was a lot of takes and a lot of editing, and that was a vocalist, Mark Crampsey, just going for it by himself, no accompaniment, and just laying it down. And he's got this big, burly baritone voice, and that was a real tough track to do. So yeah, that I didn't even think of that one on that record, but yeah. That just kind of stood out for being something really unique that I've done in my career because I don't really get a chance to do too much a cappella stuff. So if you guys are bored and want to check out something a little bit different, yeah, check out Northwest Passage from the band Regale. Pretty cool stuff.
Why do so many people hate on you in other YouTube comments?
Now, they put hate comments about me in other YouTubers' videos because they're essentially cowards and know they'll get called out on this show if they do it here.
With digital distortion, you need to check the highest notes on a guitar for any aliasing. 8 times oversampling will reduce it, but not completely eliminate it. It's so surprising reviewers ever do this. If you play a high note and bend it, and aliasing is audible, it'll sound like Radio Moscow tuning in.
Hey, dude, thanks so much for the tip. I really appreciate that. I'm going to try that out the next time I review an Amsum. Thanks so much.
Hey Glenn, right now me and a buddy of mine are looking into putting our money together to invest into a home studio. I have an HP laptop with Reaper and a Scarlett Solo as an interface. Would the HP laptop be good, or would it have to get a desktop? Cheers from Laredo, Texas.
Well, unfortunately, it didn't give me any specs on that laptop, so I've got no idea what the fuck you're using. Yeah, what year was it made in? Was it made in 2019 or was it made in 1999? Little fucking information goes a long way there. But assuming it's a fairly recent computer, you should be able to get away with some basic tracking and mixing on that HP laptop. Just make sure you set your Windows up correctly, that it's not interfering with the audio stream. Windows 10's pretty good at doing that, but I definitely do a little bit of homework and make sure you're using the absolute latest drivers for that Focusrite. Because you can run into clicks and pops and that kind of shit, and that becomes just a giant clusterfuck and spend your time scratching your head, fucking wondering why the fuck this isn't working instead of recording music. Myself, I record my audio on a laptop, but that's from Slick Audio, and that's an absolute fucking monstrosity, and it wasn't cheap either. But then again, I have to get shit done, and I don't have time to fuck around because I gotta make a show for you guys. If you have the money, I would definitely recommend getting something from Slick Audio. Even some of their more inexpensive models can really do a lot of cool shit.
Hi Glenn, I noticed that you switched from Windows OS to Mac OS. If I may ask, why?
Well, one of the main reasons was to speed up my workflow for the show. I got shown ScreenFlow there a couple years back, and just how it splits all the audio tracks into discrete tracks so I can do side chaining and post and that kind of thing. And I'm like, wow, we really need something like that for the PC. I've fucked around with OBS, but it's a bit of a fucking nightmare. Slobs is a lot better, but ScreenFlow is just infinitely better. So that was kind of the big catalyst for me. That and all my partners at Lancaster Audio are all based on the Mac systems. So really it helps us all beta test projects together kind of in the same environment. It's just easier for messaging and a whole bunch of other shit. I really do like the Mac integration. I will definitely say it's got its shit together there. Oh, and by the way, I was bitching about Reaper there a couple weeks ago being slow on a Mac. I got a message from one of the original programmers of Reaper. He's like, dude, are you running the latest version? No. Well, maybe it's time to fucking upgrade. Yeah, it works flawlessly, and I've got it going back here on the Mac OS, and it's absolutely great. So all you Reaper users who are wondering, oh, Glenn said it sucked on Mac. No, I just needed to upgrade.
Glenn, have you ever blown your vocal cords out whenever you've had to shout at someone the same way you shout at the camera sometimes? I find it funny when you shout, not in a bad way. Fuck your hands and wash you, Glenn.
No, the only time I ever blow my voice out is usually at NAMM, just because you've got to yell at the person that's 2 feet away from you because it's so fucking loud. You ever want to know what 10,000 guys who count to 4 sound like? Walk through the drum section at NAMM. Oh, fuck. Seriously, though, at the end of that, yeah, my voice is exhausted and I just want to sleep for 3 days. It's fucking just exhausting, but it's a lot of fun as well. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. As always, hit that fucking subscribe button because it really helps out the show. Like, no, seriously, it really does. And make sure you check out tomorrow's episode where I sit down with Scott Elliott from Guitar Tone Mastery, and we take a look at his system to get just absolutely stellar metal tones from amp sims. It's fucking awesome, and you definitely don't want to miss it. And if you don't want to wait for that episode, grab a copy of it now. It's only $97, and it's probably going to be one of the best $97 you ever spend in your life. Seriously, it's awesome. It helped me out as well. Definitely check it out. So before I go, as always, take care of yourself, wash your hands, look out for each other, and I'll see you guys again next time. Take it easy.